video, so I'm going to just kind of run this real quick, make this short and sweet. This is where we're at with the 97 Subaru rally car build. As you can see, the body panels, the car, appearance of it is coming together. So we've got still the rear doors to go. We've got the glass or the polycarbonate to cut on the windows. We're also going to pull the front window glass out and clean things up there, including the way they're mounted, and change that up a little bit and improve that. But we've got the front and rear bumpers secured. We've had to build some brackets to better tie them in at the wheel well corners. And we also did a center support bar in the grill section, because this bumper actually has a mounting point there that there was nothing there. So that's now secure, much better fit. Although the grill's sitting in there, there's no upper brackets for this attached to, but previously they were just using zip ties. We're going to actually fabricate some brackets for that. I've got some new corner marker lights that are coming, some new hood latches, hood pins, some new latches for the trunk lid as well. That's another thing, is we did do the repair on the trunk. I don't know if you remember from previous videos, this was actually dented in right here, and this was not secured to the trunk at all. It would just lift off of it. And that's all been redone. We sanded all this down and sprayed it just green, just so it kind of matches for now. Until at some point this will get its final, makeover exterior wise. We are going to fabricate some more brackets to put fender liners and mud guards or whatever here. And we've still got to get some mud guards and everything to go right here. They used to have some on this car, but when I got the car, they were gone. So I don't think when they put the replacement fenders on there, they ever got put back on. So we've got a few more things to do there on the inside. As you can tell, we don't have the seats in here yet. None of the harness or the heater box, the dash is all still got to go in here. So there's still, it's pretty bare on the inside, but we've been focusing on getting the body fitment and all that sorted out, which has been a whole lot more challenging than expected, because this car has been wrecked in the front multiple times. And I think pretty much all the front end has been replaced, probably at least a handful of times, 3 or 4 times. I don't know. I know I've seen video and pictures of this car with different fenders on it, different bumpers on it, different hood. But either way, we had to do a lot to try to get this to actually mount securely, and where it can actually be unbolted and bolted, because there were the original bolt holes were either broke, the bolts were broke, or the holes were damaged, or now they don't even line up where they're supposed to. When these fenders came off, we had to drill rivets out, because that's what they were doing. They were just drilling and punching rivets and riveting everything together. So obviously you want it to where it's serviceable. I've talked about that in the past. You got to be able to take things on and off. You got to be able to work on things. Rivets don't do that. Nuts and bolts, receiving ends, so we're either welding nuts in, or we are doing rib nuts or something of the sort, so things can actually come on and off. So that's kind of where we're at. We don't have the engine and transmission in it yet. They are pretty much ready to go in. We've got all the parts. We now have the rear axles for the rear. The only thing we're waiting on there is to swap the new hub bearings back there in. One thing I didn't ever point out before is that we actually tried to push this car by hand, and you could not push it. And never really clicked with this until we started tearing it down and working on it, that the passenger wheel bearing hub bearing was completely seized. I mean, like, you could not rotate it by hand. The the driver's side one was almost to that point. You could actually feel the bearings crunching inside of it. So we are, got a mosquito on my arm. We've got those to replace, and then we can put the rear suspension all back together. So we got to press those out, press new ones in, and put new seals and everything in there, and then all this can go back together. So we're pretty close to having that done. So anyway, there's your progress report. We've actually made a lot of progress over the last week or so with it. And it's actually starting to look pretty damn good. So it's coming together. It's getting there. I've got, as I mentioned before, we've got, speaking of harnesses, we have seatbelt harnesses and engine harness and chassis harness all here ready to go. But I've still got a lot of wiring to do, but I really need to have everything in the car before I can start wiring it up and putting it all together. So I'm waiting to get to that point, which will hopefully be over the next couple of days. So maybe by early next week, I'm actually wiring things up, hooking up fuel lines, putting fluids in it, that kind of thing. And the guys and I can actually fire this thing up and run it for the first time, maybe by the end of the week next week. So this will be pretty exciting. So that's the intention. That's the goal. We've been trying to get the body work and everything kind of it's sorted out and in place and have this thing together, put the engine, transmission in it, drive shaft, rear axles, rear suspension, all the front suspension and brakes is already in place. And then we'll lay out the harness, the hoses, stuff like that. So like I said, short video, just kind of give you a rundown of exactly where we're at. Another thing we actually built more brackets for is the bottom of this bumper because it would just flop like this. So now we've actually got a bracket and bolts up underneath here to help secure and hold that better. So dude, you could not do that before. This thing was barely hanging on by a thread. There's not a bumper support behind there. This soft bumper is that solid. So things are getting much, much better, much more secure than they most definitely were when this car rolled in. So anyway, that's it. I'll give you guys another update probably next week after we knock out some more, more items off the to-do list, and hopefully, a week from now, this thing's actually running, at least on the ground, and getting really close to it.